recording again, but
Yes.
I will share it after this meeting. Okay.
Okay.
We have here, Catherine. Hi, how are
Yes,
you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing so fine. We are so happy to have you with us. We have been waiting for you for
Yeah,
a long time.
I'm happy also to join you today in this meeting.
Catherine, how are you?
How are you?
Fine, long time.
Long time for sure. I've not seen you for quite some time.
How is family?
My family is doing well. Maybe yours.
Great to hear. I'm also fine. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, very nice. We can say Catherine have been with us for a very long time, and she came to the seminar.
Hey, I will.
And I gave her the book, Humanize the Earth, and she was reading it, and now she is really interested because she was reading the book. So we are very happy about that.
Can you please mute?
Yeah, okay. Everybody has to mute. Paul, can you mute? Okay, Paul Quisera have to mute. Everybody else is muted.
Shall we wait another 5 minutes or something? We are 13 already.
Yeah. Dorothy, you can mute Paul because you are the... Nice.
I think we can just start. They will get us on the way.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm recording, and Dorothy, you can mute Paul because you are the host.
No, I'm not the host. Antonio is the host.
Oh, okay. But I think we are okay. It's not noisy with Paul.
And I am recording from before.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, you are also with an account that can record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's get started then. You remember that the last thing we did in the last meeting was the 3 stages of relaxation: external physical, internal physical, and mental. And we did the experience of peace at the same time. You remember that?
Yes.
And what about the people who hasn't done these steps? I mean, because we cannot go back every time. So how we can organize something so that you can train in these initial meetings the ones who haven't been able to follow up to this point.
Okay, we have a recording of the last meeting. We will just recommend that those who were not there will look at it and to keep up.
Because it's good, you know, always to have some interlocutor, somebody to in dialogue. Because if you listen to something, it's too impersonal, and if you have doubts, there is no one to ask to. So if somebody could volunteer, that I suppose that could be, I don't know what is your time demand, but either Rose or Dorothy that are sort of coordinating this meeting. You could invite Justina, you could invite also Kate, the people who haven't been here. Maureen has been, I think. And so you help them to catch up with a bit that they haven't seen. Today we want to look at the what they call free-flowing images. That means images that you are not directing anywhere. Images are your mental pictures. Images within the psyche, our psyche, are very important because they move charge, psychophysical charge, energy. It's as if you had a mouse and you have a screen, and then you can move an icon from one place to another, or otherwise with the mouse you point in some direction, and it generates an action, the computer, because the computer responds to that pointing that you do with the arrow. And something similar happens with the mental images. We use mental images to motivate actions in the body. For example, if you are hungry because either you are a glutton or otherwise you haven't eaten for a long time, but you start to think about food, and then the images come into your mind, and then you know where there is food in your kitchen or wherever you keep it, either bread or biscuits or something that would help you at that particular time. And that image then starts to become quite recurrent in your mind, and then acts on your motor center and your emotional center, and then it persuades you going to your intellectual center. In the end, you stand up and you go to the source where you are going to find the biscuits, you see? And that image has been originally generated from your memory, because you have to, first of all, recognize the register of being hungry. And secondly, you need to have the information of where you are going to find the food. So it's all these centers of response that we are going to study a bit later act, or they are connected thanks to mental images. And the mental images carry the messages in different directions. And the more that we study this, then you will understand it. You will understand it very clearly, what we are saying. How you get somebody in, because I have my picture there.
Yes, if someone want to come to the meeting, you have to accept.
Yeah, but I don't have the option of accepting. I don't know why.
No. You okay? Just continue. He will try again or send message. Then I will guide.
Perfect. Well, so we are going to work with three images. That is, that you let them move, and you are going to observe what happens with them. We will proceed with three images, that is loose or freely of association sequences of mental images. First, put yourself in a state of very good external, internal, and mental relaxation. Then let images appear in your mind and flow freely and easily. You don't try to direct them. So sit comfortable with your back straight, and you quickly relax. External physical relaxation. You have done it a few times and you remember how it feels. Internal physical relaxation and mental relaxation. And stay there quiet, comfortable, and then pay attention, observe the images of situations in your everyday life. Images of your relationship with other people, images from your job, images of your friends, of your relatives, etc. Notice how some of these images produce discomfort in you, how some of them produce extra muscular tension. Remember these negative images and write them down later on when you have the chance after the exercise. Do not try to change or work with these images. Just simply let them flow in your mind and observe which of them produce special tensions, either because they are associated to some conflict, or is because people that you don't like very much, or because they are situations in your job that are irritating, that is uncomfortable, and you make a mental note of these images, because that will show you that they are associated to tensions in your body. Those images, for some reason, because of the situation to which they were related, they tend to produce muscular tensions. You take note mentally about that. Then once you observe something like that, make a mental note and then let them flow again. Give up that particular situation. Don't remain attached to it. And let them flow and see what comes into your mind. They are like fantasies or sequences of images, but it doesn't matter, because some of them will be neutral, some of them will be positive because they are situations that give you satisfaction, and others will be associated to tensions. So it's important that you recognize those that give you tensions, that you will see that also they are linked to muscular tensions. Will be in your stomach, in your lower stomach, in your chest, in your fists, in your arms. If that's the case, see where they generate tension. And which parts in your body these tensions are expressed more strongly. Once you have identified those particular images, you can try again. If you bring them to your mind and you keep them for some time, if again the same muscular tension that you have observed, whether it remains there or not. That will strengthen your observation, and later on, when bringing the image, you will observe again that the same tensions tend to arise, and then you will have to make a special attention to the fact that you want to keep the image in your mind, but free the tension. So in that case, if you observe that, for example, that image is associated to a tension in your tummy, you keep the image, but you try specially to release all tensions in your tummy, to feel it very relaxed. And so you will sort of disassociate, to separate the image in your mind from the tension in your body. That is very interesting to observe. And then we'll also advance one further step into what is here lesson 7, that is to convert tense everyday images and change, let's say, the polarity of the image, to free them from any sort of negative connotation that is physical tension. It says here, we are going to work on converting and positively transforming negative images from everyday situation. The practice in this lesson is based in what we call distension. That is, we try to separate the physical tension that is attached to the image, that is produced by the image. If you have worked properly with your image in the previous lessons, in your everyday life, you will be able to separate the tension associated to these images and change the flow of images. It says, before you begin the practices in this lesson, be sure to take note of these particular situations and examine your relationships with other people on the job, at home, in your social life, with the opposite sex, etc. Note that there are some people who produce special discomfort in you, whether your relationship with them is what of boss or subordinate, mother or daughter, father or son, teacher or student, etc. Mentally go over these situations and note those that bother you the most. You will need this information to learn how to make these discomforts disappear.
Man fara till bilen och hitta upp det.
Já,
Hvað er klukkan? Hvað er síminn sinn?
ég veit hvað er síminn minn. Það er hérna. Hún er 5:30.
Ok, gott. Þú mér langar til strætó.
Það er svona hálftími, þá er ég búinn. Slakaðu bara aðeins á, svo komum við.
When you complete your review, relax profoundly and then begin to remember those persons and unpleasant situations. Now freeze one of these tense images. Maintain an image in which you see yourself in a difficult situation, and then gradually relax your tense muscles. But now add a new and very important step. Transform and add these new images that turn the situation into a more positive and favorable one. Imagine the person who produces tension in you gradually acquiring a different and greatly improved relationship with you. Begin to specially notice the nice aspects of that person and change the whole situation to a much more satisfactory one. So what you intend to do here is, once you have detected tense relations that generate physical tensions in you, psychological tensions, muscular tensions, you try now to not just to separate the physical tension from the image, but at the same time try to modify the image of that person, making positive, making more pleasant to you, more acceptable. So transform a bit the image, perhaps not dramatically because it's more difficult, but slightly. So that person that you find irritating or that you dislike, try to see some positive aspect in that and try to convert the image in that manner. And see then what happens from the viewpoint of your physical tensions. Observe that even in situations where things are difficult, you can find some positive aspects. See the good side of things. Make your images positive, give them a pleasant quality, add certain pleasurable touch to them. If you can convert the images, you will observe that the negative situations and people and these situations get made positive, and at the same time try to relax your muscles deeply. You will be making a great progress if you can separate the muscular tensions from the negative image. Maybe it will not be easy to do that at the first try. But it's a line of observation and practice, which is the most important thing, because now here we are detecting a phenomena of association between mental images and physical tensions. And we will go discovering that by converting the image in our head and in our emotion, the physical tension will also recede. And it's something that we can bring into many other day-to-day situations. So shall we discuss about this? Can you tell me what is that you have been able to observe or experience?
Okay, maybe I can start.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just some minutes ago, or like 1 hour ago, I was having bad news that was disturbing me about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just calling that image, and I sensed the tension, and then I was relaxing the tension, and yeah, I could relax the tension and go through the inner and relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope this will. I will see when this image come up again. Relax me, or if I'm totally relaxed. This was something that just came to my mind right away.
Oh, very interesting, because that means it was bother you, and then by disassociating, then you experience the power of the technique that you can evoke every time that you find the same situation.
But I guess that if some image come up that is disturbing someone or me, then I can give me a time to go through this and study and focus on that image. And see how it can help in disconnecting.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Who else wants to comment? Rose, go ahead.
Yeah. After this session of imagining a lot of things, I had two disturbing events that have been happening to me. On Monday I lost some money, just mysteriously. Then again today I lost again some money, and it was disturbing me. But after doing the exercise, I started to imagine a lot of things. Something came in my mind that it could be something that is very negative, that is trying to go away with the money. And also I started thinking about the positivity now, that maybe there are more opening doors that are coming, and that's why maybe it's happening to me. Another thing that came in my mind again, because the first money that got lost was given to me by a cousin.
Yes.
That it's around 15 years before we met. And I was imagining maybe he gave me the money with another bad intention. And again, the money that got lost today, I was given by again a friend.
Yes.
So I was just trying to imagine maybe there's something that was coming on my side that is negative, and because of maybe of my good deeds, it is trying to get away of me. That's why it is getting lost. So I feel relieved. And again, I'm not questioning myself why after the session.
That's very good, because that means it generates you an emotional tension.
Yeah.
And then tensions are not just of external muscles, but also can be associated to a negative emotion. And probably that will affect your internal viscera, where we don't have the same sensibility of the muscles of the stomach or other internal organs. That is where we experience some of these negative emotions. And if you can produce that separation and feel relaxed and comfortable in your body, that means that you have produced that detachment, in fact. Yeah, that's good. To experiment with these type of things, because it will make us more versatile in the relationship with our own internal contents of our mind, contents of our heart, contents of our body in general. So it's a good recognition, I would say. Very good. Who else wants to say something? Abel, yes. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. I've had a good experience of put a situation where we sit and we put positive images of that helps us to gain positive energy. In our daily experiences, wherever we find ourselves in, we go through a lot of experiences that sometimes put us so down and so low that we feel like we are just like left out. And there are also situations where we experience good, we go through good experiences, and we keep having good images of good things that happened in the past or that are happening around us. And this gives us an opportunity to be able to collect those good ones and paste them in our subconscious mind so that we can be able to live.
Absolutely right. You treasure them. And when you need them, when you need that positivity, you evoke those images and it comes to you.
Yeah, you retrieve them just like in the computer.
That's right. It's a technique that later on we will explain during our works, that has to be like the thanking internally. You thank to whatever you want. You thank to your God. If you are a believer, you thank to yourself. You thank to destiny, to something. But the important thing is that act of thanking. Because when you recognize something positive coming your way and you appreciate it, by being thankful to that, you, in a way, you treasure that feeling. And when you need support, you evoke it again, and it will come back to you, what you have deposited there.
And therefore, from this experience, we learn that it is very necessary to always associate ourselves with good deeds, good experiences that we can always look up to and re-energize ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so there should be a habit that if there is something negative, keep away from it, because it gives you negative energy. And so in the long run, you will have images of those bad things. There is need to always focus on what keeps you moving, what gives you positive energy, the good experiences.
Exactly.
And I have an experience I got in Burundi just the other day when we went for some peace gathering in Great Lakes region in Gitega, Burundi. And what the positive images that I got from there about peace, because those regions in the Great Lakes region of Africa, they have experienced a lot of conflicts, and so many people, they have images of their people being killed. They don't have anything that they look up to. So we get an opportunity where we bring forth hope in terms of taking people through good experiences that they can always look up to. And that has also, I can reflect that on the refugees in northern Uganda, those from South Sudan. And I'm praying that at some point, all of us in this platform and maybe others, we can always reflect on what is these good experiences that we can bring forth to our fellow human beings who feel so hopeless. They feel like there is no positive experience in their lives. There is nothing they can look up to, so that we can bring them on board, and all of us, we can celebrate. We can always have what we are looking, what we can retrieve, and gives us that positive energy. Thank you so much for this experience.
Chair, no, thank you very much for your comments, because they are so applicable to everyone and so positive, because there we have like batteries that can collect the negative and the positive, and there is where we can produce a transformation. And then we have to accumulate all the positive events that come in our direction, and always be thankful of those, because that starts to change the direction of our life, you see, because we haven't caused these situations, in fact, either the negatives or the positives. But what is good and helpful for life are the positive ones. And as you say, to pay attention to those and keep them will allow you at one point to recover them and share with others. And then it will benefit a whole group and will inspire other people, because that ability to collect and keep the positive things is something that need to be learned. And we need to become aware that this happens, because lots of people are oblivious of these things and they miss out in the possibility, because there are so many things that are so positive about life, about being alive, and about being able to think and to observe, that if we don't have the right attitude, we start to miss out in those possibilities. And the stronger that you become in that regard, the better your life starts to become, as by magic. And it's because your attitude tends to be the right one to life, to adaptation, etc. So those things are subtle, and it's not just one fits all, but there are areas where we have to become more experimented, wiser, more aware. That's it. Let Federico Tiendo in, yeah. But what happens is that now I don't have the chance to let people in. I don't know why.
How come? Just try to go to where they're saying that there are 11 there, and open that.
Yeah.
Then you go up, scroll up to the top.
Yeah.
Can you see someone applying there?
I don't.
No. Okay, then they just have to apply again, and or they just have to see the recording. I don't know how we can. This happen, also with Julius from time to time, but we have problems to open for people. But we have the recording. We will share the recording so they can take part there.
Yeah, they say several people want to be allowed to come in.
Yeah, admit. You say admit. Or view.
Yeah, admit everyone. Now I got the
everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have to apologize to those who have been kept out.
Þetta svona 15 mínútur.
Yes.
Can I have one question, Antonio?
Yeah, any. The idea is that we have a very fluid dialogue in this situation, because everybody is having experiences and you shouldn't limit yourself.
Okay, about images. About images, okay, before, then if I lost some things, I could just look at it in my head and find out where it is, you know. But now when
that's amazing, because it's that mechanism is called tonicity. And then you connect through the image, and the image directs the body in some way to that point. I mean, it's amazing. It's like magic.
Yeah, but nowadays I've lost this ability because it's like I don't have the same power over my images. You know, it's like I cannot look here. I forget. It's like I lose the images. Is it something that is a process that happens when people get older about these images?
Yeah, I mean, but you are not old. That's the thing. If you were 80, I mean, I believe that could happen. So it's a matter of sort of training a bit and paying attention to that, and you will recover it. Yes.
I hope so. But this is I feel a big difference in this kind of.
By working more in these mental things while we do our day-to-day life, this awareness about our thoughts, about our feelings, and about our mental images should not affect our effectiveness in the day-to-day life. All the contrary, because it pushes up the level of consciousness and we become more aware of multiple things. And we can, in a way, move the levers and switch off something and connect something else, and you are in the best possible shape and best use of energy. So keep very alert to that, and don't think that you are losing attributes or qualities. Yeah.
Okay, I think I have to practice.
Yes. Who else wants to say something? What we should do in the next session, probably, because now we are closer to our allocated time. But in the next time, we will try to convert tense biographical images. So you could, during the week, you can go observing in your past life, in your biography, situations of tension that you can evoke, you can identify at least, you can have a list. And when we do these practices next week, or in 2 weeks' time when we are meeting, you can work with those particular conflictive or tense biographical images. And that will be a good preparation for later works in this course that has to do with precisely studying our biography in detail and start to break it out and distinguish different moments, different sectors, different periods in our life, observing what we call accidents, undesired situations that were either positive or negative, but they happened and they had a very important effect to change the direction of your life. So by breaking it and organizing all that information that is accumulated in our memory, we'll be able to detect difficult situations or conflictive situations that needs a closer study, and where we will be able to dissolve the knot of tensions, because these biographical tensions that you haven't been treated, you continue living, but they remain as if you had a knot made there that is not disentangled. And while the knot persists, that is like a small trauma, a small conflict, and continues giving a signal in your consciousness. Can be a signal of fear, can be a signal of insecurity, a negative image generally. Because if something very positive, you can identify it and make it even bigger. And these type of things we will have to approach with care and to see in which way we can dilute the negative charge that is associated to those periods in our biography. And this is extremely important because it will make us free of our past in what respects to the negative elements that have come across our lives. Many times that's not been our fault. In fact, it's never our fault, because the situations go happening and we are unprepared, but it are things that have hurt us. And because of that, and we couldn't digest them properly, understand them properly, they keep hurting us in ways that we cannot notice in our day-to-day, but they are there. And one day you don't know why, in front of a certain situation, you explode. And you say, what happened to me? And well, it's precisely those type of situations that they are still hanging on your memory and that you need to approach, tackle, and get free of them. That will release energy and will improve your quality of life as a human being, psychologically and all that. So it's a process of reconciliation. When we detect heavier stuff, then there are more specific techniques that we can use, where we go identifying the situation, we go preparing for we approach it gradually, and at one point we tackle it in a way that again releases its negative charge, and we get free of it. We achieve a profound reconciliation, and that is showing in your mind. That means it's something that you will become aware of, that you have dissolved a knot of tensions. So all this approach to the images and these experiences that we are gaining now precisely will go preparing, will develop our skills, our ability to make distinctions in our mind, and at one point we'll be able to really review in depth our past life until the present time, releasing all the negative things and reabsorbing and appreciating all the positive things that we have as qualities that have been very positive episodes, and many times they are suppressed in our memory and we are not aware of them, and we are not capable of taking advantage of so many positive qualities that we have and positive events that come across in our lives. So it's a good work, because it creates greater freedom and greater enjoyment of life. Sometimes we discover that life has been fairer to us than what we thought. And that we are better people than what we thought. And that is amazing. So in that positive mood, perhaps if you don't have any other questions, we could leave it for now, but don't forget to write down 10 images that you have observed or detected, or that you could in the next few days, because we can use them to disassociate from physical tensions. Who else wants to say any other thing or make any other comment? The most valuable are observations that you are making about yourselves. Discoverings, little discoverings, because we'll have technology and plenty of opportunities to go back to these things. But every type of new discovery in your mind is a step in the right direction, because we are better prepared then to tackle anything else that we come across in the personal development. Is it understandable or more or less useful, you think, what we have been mentioning?
Okay. Rose.
Okay, I wanted to ask Antonio a question. I think it didn't come clear. So we write about our biographical images of our past since childhood, now?
But observe them. Just observe them, different biographical images until the next, or make some note. But we are not asking to start writing your biography. But if it comes naturally to you, because you start to rescue episodes that were a bit forgotten, make some notes in your
both
phone.
positive and negative.
Both, exactly.
Okay.
Positives and negatives, yeah. Because at one point you will discover that what you thought it was so positive wasn't that positive, and the negatives were not that negative, and we will be able to look at our life with a different perspective. We will want to see what are tendencies, things that tend to repeat periodically. We will try to observe the repetitions. We'll try to identify the changes of stage in our biography. There are always moments where things change a lot, either because we were growing or something happened in the context around us, with our parents, with our family, with our brothers and sisters, or whatever.
Yeah. I've just thought of something before you continue, Antonio. You've said you've talked of things that come and repeat itself. You find that when people are born in a family or in an extended family, you find different people with different characters.
Yeah.
Then maybe if the grandfather had these characters, in the next 5 years, a grandson or a granddaughter is born, they come again with the same characters of the other person. So you find that the characters repeat itself, and sometimes occasions too. Maybe something happened last year at around June. When it comes to this year, again around June, it comes again.
Exactly. So, those are cycles of the memory. Yeah. Biological cycles, things that tend to repeat. Because time is curved and they are always cycles. Everything moves in cycles. History, the moments of your life, situations that tend to repeat. And it's very important to be able to detect them, because sometimes when you see them coming, you may have the chance then to accept what is coming or move in a different direction. But there is a cyclicity in life because time is curved.
Perfect.
Yeah. Dorothy, yes, come forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Antonio. I just wanted to talk about writing the reflection of how your life has been from the past.
Yes.
There's a time you told me to start writing it, but there's somewhere I reached and I cannot write it anymore because it makes me so emotional. And then I decided to stop. So I don't know why it's making me emotional.
Well, because probably that is associated to a period of turmoil, of instability, of suffering, of conflict, and you don't want to face that situation again or to remember it. And so again, is a situation of deep tension, and you don't want to revive that situation. But also you cannot deny it because you are carrying it with you at all times, everywhere. So even if in a timid way, approach it a bit and observe things and put the finger there and see what happens. And suddenly you will see that it will be more approachable. And once it becomes more approachable, it is not generating a negative feeling in yourself of great caliber, let's say, you will be able then to destructure it, to analyze it in greater depth, to understand the factors that generated that situation and why did it hurt you so deeply. And you will gradually free from that situation. So, but you have to detect how much you will do it and how you will do it. Nobody can tell you from outside. It's your challenge. But it's very natural what you are saying. It is like that. Heavy stuff you want to run away from. But the problem is that we cannot run away from our lives. We have to reconcile. And all these works point in that direction. Reconciliation is when at one point you can become neutral. in relation to the situation. Doesn't have a negative charge. All the positive things we want to carry forward because it will give an impulse to our life. But the negative things, we don't want to have to deal with them. And then we have to resolve them. Reconciliation is a level of acceptance, understanding that the things that happened to you were not your fault in a way, because in fact, we are the way that we are, and the things that are negative and we dislike, we did not generate intentionally, because nobody wants to cause to oneself pain and suffering. It's because there were circumstances that you could not deal because they were more strong and powerful than yourself. And in that sense, you don't need to blame yourself or take responsibility to yourself. You want to approach him as if you were a scientist, as if the problem belonged to somebody else. Yes, because it's true. Because we are not those conflicts. Those conflicts happen to us, and we are carrying them for some reason. But we are not that. We are something much more interesting than that.
And it's not our fault.
Not our fault. It's the mechanicity of the circumstances that decides for us. Because we are not free. But when we discover that we are not free, that gives a position as observers of our lives that are much freer. And by taking that distance, you let that situation you come to terms with it. You reconcile with it. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And at that point, you are free. But then what you are experiencing, Dorothy, is absolutely real. It happens like that. And yes, you're not being fearful about it. You have to explore it.
You're muted.
Okay, Antonio. I think I will continue writing it whether I'm shedding tears or what is happening.
Yes.
I'll just be writing it. I pass
You're
that
right.
and I
You're
maybe
right.
it will make me to.
Sorry?
I'm saying that I will continue writing it whether I'm shedding tears, I'm getting emotional, so that I can pass that phase and go to another phase, because it might be a way of healing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is what it is. You need to free your energy from those situations. And by running away, you keep them alive. You don't want that. Yeah. It's like the reconciliation after a revolution. It's Nelson Mandela was suggesting that. After all these years of apartheid, of dominance by the imperialist powers in South Africa, what he preached after spending 27 years as a prisoner without formal charges, he came out of prison and he recommended reconciliation, not vengeance, because obviously the majority of the population were not the Boers or the invaders or the Europeans. And that precisely, that peace and reconciliation and recognition helped enormously in the process of South Africa. So those are the models, the Gandhian model also in India, you remember. He didn't preach resentfulness. He accepted them. And the Indian people won and the British had to go out. They have caused an injury so many centuries into the whole nation that the tendency was to revenge. And these extraordinary people, they said, no, don't do that, because you are damaging yourself further and the conflict will burn again. And the same thing we have to do with ourselves. All of us, we carry some episode or another that is really painful. Yeah. So that will be it, or? Maureen, do you want to say something? She left the meeting.
lækka aðeins. Þetta kemur inn á upptöknum fundinum, elskar mín. Lækka aðeins.
I cannot hear you, Ragnar.
Sorry, I was talking to my daughter. She is listening to something that is coming into the meeting, the recording. But
okay.
But no, it is. I think we are very fine. It is. These are very interesting things.
Subject.
But I'm thinking about people like who have been through so much trauma. Okay, for a good sake, it seems to be stopping the war in Gaza now. But people who have been through so much trauma. Are they able to work on it like this with images and things?
Yes, there are people that get through, and people who have the right attitude, understand the depth of the problem, and then the people who also cannot do it, they react against it and they make the problem worse, or nothing happens. They get stuck to it. But life is transformation, it's evolution. You cannot get stuck to situations, even if they are negative situations. We have to learn from the negative experience so we don't repeat them. But when you have been caught in that, it's like an accident. Life is full of accidents, undesirable situations. If an earthquake comes, or if there's a big fire, or there's a big flood, well, there are forces that you cannot control. You have at one point to accept it. It's painful, but I mean, life is packed with these type of things. That's why it's so important to work in humanizing the earth, because there is plenty of inhumanity. And then we help the human process in the right direction. Because in the end, we are not going to be in this life under this form, but the spiritual strength that we have acquired is what will carry on. So it's like an investment into the future, what we need to do. That's importance of reconciling. It's freedom in the end. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It sounds very good.
Good. I appreciate that you enjoy it and you are interested, and I look forward to doing lots of interesting exchanges. And on the condition that you will teach other people the same things. Yes.
We will.
Okay, best wishes, all the best.
Peace, force, and joy.
Peace, force, and joy. Cheers.
Peace, force, and joy.
Ciao.
Peace, force, and joy.
Peace, force, and joy.